Aloha mai kako, a Kamomata Curtain Call, a program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artist on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. This past weekend, I got the opportunity to experience why our little corner of paradise is no ka'oi. There were 3 different shows running. Seabury Hall was doing the Addams Family the musical, King Kekalike Drama was doing The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, and Maui on Stage was doing Misery. It was like the old days again. This week, I will share my thoughts about the 2 high school shows, and next week, we'll remember Misery. The King Kekalike Performing Arts Center is Upcountry's Castle Theater. It was meant to be a community arts center, available to all community groups. Unfortunately, that has not yet come to pass. Only high school groups, with a few notable exceptions, have produced work in this magnificent space. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer was adapted by Dave Barton and Matt Bond from the great novel by Mark Twain. Tom Sawyer, played brilliantly by Mackay Newstein, is a young orphan who has been taken in by his late mother's sister, Polly, Faith Harriman. Tom is a handful for Aunt Polly. He brawls, misbehaves, plays hooky whenever he can, is engaged to Amy Lawrence, the lovely Capua Villanueva, and next week she will be played by the lovely Dakota Welch. But his heart belongs to the new girl in town, Becky Thatcher, the charismatic and magnetic Moggy Enriquez. Tom hangs out with the local miscreant Huckleberry Finn, played with equal excellence by Chaz Provost, and has a fatal run-in with Injun Joe, Joshua Saxton. Here we have one of the reasons why this book has been banned in less progressive states than Hawaii. In his director's notes and his opening night pre-show curtain speech, Chris Kepler addressed the issue of Injun Joe and racism in this work. He expressed perfectly the need for academia in particular and the arts in general to be free from censorship. Quote, "In literature and on the stage, we will encounter many controversial subjects presented with the goal of entertainment. If we were to ban everything that offends, in a sense, we deny history, literature, and theater are valuable in that they encourage and promote thoughtful discourse. In a very real way, we learn present lessons from past wrongs," unquote. He also met with and presented some thoughts from Indigenous American seniors Rosa Coles and Rosa Whitney. These students wanted the following ideas communicated to the audience. The historic perspective of the piece is outdated. It has a lot of harmful and wrongful stereotypes that dehumanize minorities, like the portrayal of Injun Joe. The language in this play surrounding minorities is often derogatory, like Injun, which is a slur for Indigenous American people. The racist themes in the play still exist today, and Indigenous people still face racism every day. I couldn't agree more. This is a big show with marvelous legendary characters played pitch perfectly by Master Newstein and his other partners, Master Provost and Miss Enriquez. The supporting cast was there all the time. My all-time favorite scene is one of the first introductions of reverse psychology in modern literature, as Tom makes the drudgery of whitewashing the fence Aunt Polly has given him as a punishment into a privilege to be paid for with one's greatest valuables and to be characterized and expressed as fun. Mr. Saxon creates an angry, psychotic, devious, resourceful, and evil Injun Joe, who is one of the most important characters in the story because it is through his confrontation with and triumph over Injun Joe that Tom grows from a boy to a man. Mr. Kepler has utilized every space of the theater to present this epic adventure, and you would do well to put this on your weekend entertainment agenda. It runs Friday and Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 3. Tickets are only available at the door, so plan accordingly. Seabury Hall Performing Arts is presenting a raucous, beautiful, and fun production of The Addams Family, a new musical, with book by Marshall Brickman and Rick Elise, and music and lyrics by Andrew Lippa, under the direction and choreography by David Ward, with musical direction by Julia Golding. It also has, we are told in the program, partial choreography from the original Broadway production by Sergio Trujillo. While the folks at King K are grappling with racism, this show has some serious adult themes and situations. It is a tribute to the administration, students, and faculty of Seabury that they support freedom of expression and the work has not been noticeably tampered with. The play opens with an introduction of the family, the patriarch Gomez, played by the outstanding Christian Lloyd Roque. Then came the matriarch Morticia, the stunning and outrageously talented Barbara Bobby Golden. Uncle Fester is the ebullient Every Ardoin. Wednesday is the Broadway quality Jaden Gurley, and Brother Pugsley is played enthusiastically by Olivia Villa White. And Grandma, the true eccentric in the family, or is she, Riley Stout. They are in the graveyard because this is the night they welcome their ancestors back to life to celebrate what it is to be an Addams. The opening number was huge. The ancestors looked appropriately ghoulish, and it set the stage for the excellence that was to come. Uncle Fester asks the ancestors to hang around because Wednesday seems to be smitten with a normal person, one Lucas Beinecke, played the opening week by Sean Cortez, and closing weekend by Alexander Wolf Pels. She reveals her feelings in Pull while she tortures masochistic Pugsley. She shares her feelings to Gomez and swears him to secrecy, which is a problem for him because he has never kept anything from Morticia. She tells him that the Beineckes will be coming for dinner and begs him for one normal night. This is the next big number in the show, and it is here that we meet Mal Beinecke, the earnest Jack Bendon, and his wife Alice, who goes on the most profound journey in the show, Luz Bridgeford. Needless to say, the dinner turns into a disaster due to the game, which Morticia insists upon as a condition for going through one normal night. The game is called Full Disclosure, where each person quaffs an elixir and reveals something they have never told anyone. Pugsley wants to get his sister back and steals a potion from Grandma that will bring out the darkness in anyone who drinks it. He intends for Wednesday to get it because he believes her relationship with Lucas means he won't get tortured by her anymore. However, at the dinner, Alice intercepts the cup and angrily declares her marriage a loveless mess while revealing her misery in front of everyone. A storm created by the ancestors at the behest of Uncle Fester traps everyone in the house. So that is most of Act 1. You'll have to go and see the show to find out about Act 2, if you can get tickets. This show has everything. Great singing, especially from Masters Roque and Ardoin and Mrs. Gurley Bridgeford and Golden. Of course, the dancing is first rate. Mr. Ward has obviously pulled some of his best dancers to work as the ancestors. The biggest dance number comes in the penultimate scene when the Tango d'Amour begins with one of the ancestors unzipping Miss Golden's knockout Dress to Kill sparkly red dress to free her leg to wrap around Gomez in this number. Joined by the ancestors, the tango morphs into a flamenco, which is a perfect coda for this number. Miss Golden uncages a sensuous side that has been simmering throughout the show. It is spectacular, and the chemistry between she and Gomez is mature beyond their years. One of the elements that separates and elevates Seabury shows are the great professional look of the actors that master costumiers Vanessa Cerrito, Andre Morissette, and Diana Spate create. And this show is no exception. Both of Miss Golden's gowns look like they came from Paris Couture. Master Roque's suit and dinner jacket are perfect, and the ancestors present an attention to detail not usually given to background people. This show will probably get a standing ovation award for best costumes of the year. The show is an extremely complicated and sophisticated technical side with more than 20 wireless mics, 22 scenes that have different settings, a cast of 11 principals and 23 ensemble, most of whom have more than one costume and interior as well as exterior lighting situations. Kudos go to Peter Della Croce for the sound and Todd Van Amberg for the set and lights. Mr. Ward and Ms. Golding have assembled and trained a most talented cast and crew. They have created a memorable evening in the theater, and I would encourage everyone to go to www.seaburyhall.org and click on the link for Arts. Addams Family, the new musical, runs this weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7, and a final performance at 3 on Sunday. The show will sell out. Get your tickets today. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Ah-hoo-ho!